The day my wife found out she was pregnant, I wasn't the first person she called. I wasn't even the second. And by the time she finally looked me in the eyes that night, our marriage had already started to die. It was a cold Tuesday in November. I remember the date because it was the same morning my wife, Emily, kissed me goodbye and told me she had a dentist appointment after work. Nothing about her seemed unusual. She smiled. She grabbed her coffee. She told me she'd make pasta for dinner. By noon, I had forgotten all about the appointment. At 4:30 p.m., my phone buzzed with a notification from our shared credit card account. It was something we had set up years earlier to track expenses. A charge appeared. Women's Medical Center. My stomach tightened. Emily and I had been trying to have a baby for nearly 3 years. Doctor visits, tests, disappointment after disappointment. Every negative result had slowly chipped away at us. I called her. No answer. I sent a message. Everything okay? No reply. An hour later, another notification appeared. Not a purchase this time. A phone bill update. There was a 20-minute call. Not to me. To someone saved only as J. I stared at the screen. 20 minutes. My own call history showed something else. She had called me afterward. Duration, 22 seconds. I got home just after 9. The house was dark except for the kitchen light. Emily sat alone at the table. A folded paper rested beside her. Her eyes were red. She looked up slowly. "I'm pregnant," she whispered. For a moment, the entire world stopped. 3 years. 3 years of hoping. 3 years of praying. This was supposed to be the happiest moment of our lives. But all I could think about was the phone call. I sat down across from her. "When did you find out?" "This afternoon." I nodded. "And who did you tell first?" Her face changed immediately. The color disappeared. "What do you mean?" I slid my phone across the table. "The clinic charged our account at 3:12. I pointed at the screen. "At 3:18, you called Jay." She stared at the phone. "You talked for 20 minutes. I looked directly into her eyes. "You called your husband 22 seconds later." Silence. The refrigerator hummed in the background. A clock ticked somewhere in the living room. Finally, she spoke. "He's just a friend." I nodded slowly. "Then why wasn't I the first person you wanted to tell?" Tears began falling down her face. I didn't yell. I didn't raise my voice. Because the answer had already arrived before she spoke. When people receive life-changing news, they instinctively reach for the person who matters most. The person they trust. The person whose opinion they need. The person they run toward. And that person wasn't me. She explained that Jay worked with her. That they had become close. That she had been confused. That nothing physical had happened. Maybe she was telling the truth. Maybe she wasn't. But the truth I needed had nothing to do with an affair. It was much simpler. When she discovered the biggest news of her life, her heart took her somewhere else. Not home. That night, I slept in the guest room. I stared at the ceiling until sunrise. By morning, something inside me had become very quiet. Not angry. Not broken. Just clear. Over the next few weeks, we talked. We cried. We tried to understand how two people could slowly become strangers while living under the same roof. She admitted that she had been emotionally attached to him. She said she felt lost. She said she never meant to hurt me. But intentions don't erase reality. Eventually, she left her job. She stopped speaking to him. She asked if we could start over. But some doors closed silently. No screaming. No fighting. No betrayal caught in a hotel room. Just one phone call. 20 minutes. And 22 seconds. We separated 6 months later. The divorce was peaceful. No children. No arguments. Just two people signing papers while pretending they weren't grieving a future that never happened. Years have passed now. Sometimes I still think about that afternoon. Not because of the pregnancy. Not because of the divorce. But because of one simple question. Who do you call first when your life changes? Because that answer reveals something no words ever can. The first person your heart reaches for is often the person you've already chosen. Everyone else simply learns about it later. And sometimes, the most painful thing in a marriage isn't discovering another person. It's realizing you stopped being the first person your partner wanted to run to. If this story taught me anything, it's this. Love isn't measured by promises, rings, or years together. It's measured by instinct. And when life changes in a single moment, your heart always knows exactly where to go.